Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I'm back with you again to share how I planned the week of March 13th through 19th in my Happy Planner. As you can see, there is a look at last week and it was floral and springy and quite different from what I normally do, right? But I really did enjoy it, and even if I didn't love maybe certain elements of it, what I do love is the change up in my style. Okay, we're going to get started, and I'm removing the page from my Happy Planner just so I can make sure that I have the best start. I don't have anything bumpy underneath. I'm not going to have any distraction from the discs, and I can make sure that everything is happening as well as can be expected. Now, this week we are going with a rainbow theme. I have not done one of these in a while, and so you'll have to bear with me a little bit because it does take a little bit longer when I have to dig through my stash and try to find different elements than it does when I'm working with a specific kit. As you can see, I've pulled out my planner inks and I'm going through my Sweet Stamp Shop stamps, the ones that I most often reach for, to find the stamps that I'm going to use to notate my meal planning, or at the bottom, my dinners. Now, I like to do a double stamp. Now you can see on the side of the block I put the word dinner, and on the larger surface of the block I put the little plate, knife, fork, and spoon, so I guess like kind of the cutlery set. And as you can see right there, both of those paired together, I think they're just adorable. Maybe it doesn't work out for you exactly, but I love it. I love the vertical dinner and the plate and next to it. I think it just makes a really cute little display. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that throughout the week. I decided to just do the red and the orange together just so I could get that sort of out of the way. Not because I don't enjoy it, but I had the stamp out, I was ready to go, and so it just made sense to do both at the same time. Now, I didn't have any planned activities for Monday, which is a little bit strange, am I right? And so I was able to only do my to-do list. Now look at the wood grain on those stickers. They're gorgeous. I love them. So it's like this rainbow wood grain sticker sheet. I absolutely adore it. Now, I will say that I can say with certainty that orange stickers are a little bit hard to come by. So when I find them, I'm always really excited because I know I can use them in a rainbow week. And I just used my very favorite to-do stamp, that Stuff to Do. It's so stinking cute, on the round stamp block from Sweet Stamp Shop. I love it. It's my very, very, very favorite block. Now I'm taking a little arrow sticker from the Hudson collection from Scraptastic Club, and I'm going to use that to point to a telephone icon. Now I'm going through some of my icon stickers, and this is exactly what I meant by how a rainbow week takes a little bit longer, because you have to find that one specific sticker, and that can definitely take a little bit of time, but it's okay because the end results are definitely worth it. So I'm going to have that little arrow sticker point to my orange telephone, and it's just so stinking fun. I love using this as a technique, and sometimes I put the icon on top of the arrow and have it point to the words, and sometimes I do this. I just like to change it up. It definitely keeps things interesting for me. Now I'm going to go through these boxes. They're the Basically boxes from Scraptastic Club, and I'm going to pull out an orange box that I can use down there at the bottom to notate a baseball game. Now I'm also adding a small little Libby's Littles baseball sticker from Libby & Co. just to notate that it's a baseball game. Absolutely, I wouldn't have to do that. It's not necessary to the planning, but I think that they're really adorable, and it just makes me really happy to look at. And so I've decided that, you know what, that's exactly what my planning should be, something that I love looking at. Now I've just added a cute little scallop sticker from, this is from Lily Henry on Etsy, and I just also think those are really fun, and I don't have anything else to say about that. But I pulled out a yellow school bus sticker, and I am going to just write the word late start underneath it. Sometimes I write late start on the school bus, sometimes I write it not at all. This week I just decided to write it underneath it using my yellow Papermate Flare pen. Now, yellow is hard in these videos because it doesn't show up all that well, but I assure you in my actual planner, it's just fine. It's not a problem. So if you're thinking, I don't know if I want to use yellow in my planner, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it, go for it. It works out just fine. It's just in the video, it's a little bit harder to capture. Now I'm using a Prima chalk ink to stamp the dinner part. Sorry about my head, by the way. I just need to get right in there and make sure I can see it. And this is not one, it is one that I use with my planner stamps all the time. I had a yellow VersaColor, it was great. I lost it, and actually when I say I lost the lid. It fell on the floor, I couldn't find it. I ended up finding it like 2 weeks later, but of course the ink pad was already dried out. So I just use what I have. So now this is back to the part of where I'm looking through my stash to find those stickers that will go perfectly for what I need on Wednesday. And actually, to be perfectly honest, while it seems like it's kind of a headache, it's really not. I love it because then I rediscover a lot of things that I have that I kind of forgot about. I did a little bit of layering for the to-do header just for fun. You wouldn't have to, you don't have to layer things, but I just think that it makes it a little bit more interesting. And as I just told you a couple minutes ago, when my planner is more interesting and I love it, then I'm definitely far more apt to reach for it and want to pull it out. So that's a win-win in my book. It's cute to look at, I use it, I get things done, and that's exactly the purpose for me of my planner. Now I'm going through my decorative stickers because I'm trying to find some decoration for Wednesday that I want to use here, and I do have some, but none of them really are calling out to me. Now that the first half of that week is finished, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the second half of the week, which as you can see is littered with all my sticky notes for all my different plans throughout the week. I'm going to start with the meal planning stamping. I'm using this green stamp pad from VersaColor and just lining up those stamps. Now I did mess up the little plate, knife, and fork, but all it takes is lining the stamp back up and re-stamping that area. It could be a little bit off, but to be perfectly honest with you, it's really not that big of a deal. And if it was, you could cover it with a sticker. It wouldn't be the end of the world. So definitely don't let your first try be all that really, don't let it discourage you if you mess it up, is what I'm trying to say to you. Now I put down those 2 stickers and I did not get them exactly where they needed to be, so I pulled them back up, and that's kind of one of the things that I prefer about reusable, or not reusable, removable stickers, is that if I place them in the wrong spot, I can move them. Now I also, that cute little banner, I tore it when I pull it up. It happens. I just stuck it back down. It doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. Now, so theoretically you could replace it if that really bugged you, but it doesn't bother me at all, so I just kept it right there. Now on the banner I used my black Papermate Flare pen, but for the 2 little asterisks I'm going to use this Stabilo pen, Stabilo. I got those on Amazon. I have a whole rainbow of colors for them. It's a little bit different color of the green that I'm using on the rest of them, but that doesn't even bother me whatsoever, and I actually kind of like it being all changed up. I'm putting my to-dos in the top box for no reason other than I have afternoon and evening activities, so it seems pretty clear to me that I should probably put the to-dos in the morning box. Am I right? Quite frankly, I should probably put my to-dos every day in the morning box because that's when I do most of those items, but I do like to change it up, and it does feel a little bit more natural to me at the bottom, so I don't typically put all of my to-dos in the morning box. Now I pulled out a little green banner flag that's from Scraptastic Club, and I'm also going to use one of those Libby's little baseball icons, just super cute, just to dress up this plain box and make it a little bit more fun. You absolutely don't have to do that, but that's kind of what's cool about, you can buy a whole bunch of basic stickers and make them work together and make them be exactly what you want them to be versus buying things that are already predetermined. Now as you can see, I took that to-do sticker, I just put it on the other side of the box, on the other side of the block, excuse me, even though I still had that things to do stamp on the other side. If you're new to stamping, I don't recommend that. It's much harder to do. However, I probably shouldn't do it either, in all honesty. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Again, as we've discussed time and time again, if you mess it up, there are definitely ways to fix it. Now I'm using a royal blue VersaColor stamp to do my meal planning for Friday. I could have gone aqua or turquoise here, and I did consider it, that's for sure, but that royal blue ink pad was really calling to me for some reason. I really wanted to use it, so I just decided that I was going to use it because I really wanted to. Now, looking at the entire layout, I probably would have liked it better had I done turquoise instead, just because I always find myself a little bit more gravitating towards turquoise in my rainbow layouts, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. The next rainbow layout I do, which we all know there'll be another one, I'll do the turquoise. There it is, my favorite stuff to do with the royal blue VersaColor ink pad. I get asked a lot about ink pads. It's really probably the question I answer the most. Go with pigment ink. I highly recommend VersaFine, and I also highly recommend stamps that were made in the USA that are photopolymer. There are a bunch of manufacturers that do this. Sweet Stamp Shop is one of them. I love them. And if you don't want to use VersaFine, VersaColor is a good option. VersaMagic is a good option. You'll need to give those last two, the VersaColor and the VersaMagic, a couple of minutes to dry. They do smear a tiny bit because they are a pigment ink and they sit on top, but you will be happiest with the results of these, okay? You will not have bleeding. You won't have, bad impressions or anything like that. And I could tell you, oh yeah, if you have something else, absolutely use it. If something else works for you, absolutely use it. But I'm saying if you're thinking about getting into stamping, I highly recommend stamps made in the USA and a black VersaFine ink pad. And then practice, practice, practice. I'm moving on to Saturday, and that's where you'll see that I have the purple. And it's really weird because I don't use purple very much, but there also aren't very many purple stickers. So I find myself having to sort of search them out because I've used a lot of the ones that I already had. Now, Saturday is, of course, a busy day for me. As you have noticed in the past, I always have a lot of activities on Saturday, and I also do not put to-dos on my weekends because quite frankly, that's the last thing I need is a long list of to-dos. Now, let's be clear, I also do get things done. It's just that I don't make note of them or I don't make specific notes of things there. This is a Chrissy Ann design sticker, the top purple one that's turned on its side, and I used a permanent pen to write on that because those you have to, otherwise they will smear. The other ones I can just go ahead and use my Papermate Flare. And for the middle one right there, I just used a teeny tiny little baseball icon. That's a lot of baseball in one day, isn't it? I like the varying shades of purple. That might not be for you. You might want all the same purple. The only way to really do that is to stick with one sticker manufacturer or to stamp and use the same stamp pad over and over again. But I like the mix, quite frankly. I think it goes well, and I just enjoy it, so it's really not a problem to me. But if you're a little bit more detail oriented and you want them to all be the same, you should definitely try one of those other tricks. Now at the top, because it's a fun baseball day, I decided that I was just going to add that little baseball border by Chrissy Ann. It's just really cute. And sometimes I use it directly on those quarter box stickers, and sometimes I place it by itself. I don't want to limit myself. I like to use it in all of the different ways. I'm going to look for a weekend banner in all of these different ones from Scraptastic Club. There's so many different options, and I knew that I wanted something. I just wasn't exactly sure what. I decided to go with one of the ones that it looks like washi tape and put it up there on the top and use the pink, even though the pink is for Sunday, but it really doesn't bug me at all. So now, speaking of Sunday, it's time to move on for planning to Sunday. I only have one planned activity, so I'm going to go ahead and find this sort of full box sticker from Chrissy Ann Designs in this little pouch of stickers, which, speaking of which, those little pouches, like you can see right here, I think it's by a company called Kaisercraft. They're an Australian company. It's got a zipper at the top. They're very durable. And this is where I break up some of my stash stickers. So my Scraptastic ones I store together in Avery L. My Libyan company I all store together in an Erin Condren clutch, but then all of the rest of them go in these little sticker holders. As you can see, I'm basically finished now. Hooray! But I am going to add something in that lower right-hand box. I used to, a long time ago, use that box for things that were coming up in the following week, like assignments I had or things I needed to get done specifically for the following week, because I didn't want to get up on Monday morning and be like, oh my God, I didn't get this done. So this is a great way for me to do that. I sort of stopped doing it because I didn't really have too many obligations. So I am back though now that I have joined the Hip Kit Club design team. So I definitely have things that I need to get done. So I'm reinstituting that little next week box in the bottom. So here I just used 2 different stamp sets from Sweet Stamp Shop and stamped those with my magenta VersaColor. I really love how that turned out. It's super cute and it's just a great way to keep in mind, okay, I need to get that project done. Now I'm finished and I want to add a little bit of washi tape. So what I've done is I've pulled out a few different washis that will match my rainbow theme. Up first is this Scotch one that I got on clearance at Staples, and I'd never used this type of Scotch tape before. Truth be told, I think I only have one other roll and it's not like this. This is almost like a printed Scotch tape, like, you know, that you would use for wrapping gifts or whatever. It's actually sort of strange. Not bad strange, just strange because it's not a paper tape. I'm using my little X-Acto knife to trim up my washi tape edges. You can always use the side of a gift card or scissors or whatever you want, but I just use the X-Acto knife because I have it in my stash. So now I'm just going to add a couple of plain MT tapes, and then I have one more Doodlebug tape that I'm going to add, and then that's it. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it, and if you enjoyed my video, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, leave them in the box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and make it a great day.